The hardest thing I've ever done, it's not what you think. It wasn't paying off $85,000 in debt. It wasn't almost getting fired at 23. It was losing 100 pounds. I was 13. I had no help, no trainer, no internet. Just a kid who looked in the mirror one day and decided he was done. And I'll tell you something I didn't expect. The weight came off, but the person I became in the process, that's what changed everything. And no business school in the world can teach you what I'm about to share with you. I was 13. My parents had just divorced. We'd moved from Mexico to Dallas. New school, new country, everything was new. And I did what a lot of kids do when life gets hard. I ate. And I didn't really notice it happening. It was just comfort until one afternoon I'm sitting in the living room playing FIFA and I glanced over at the mirror sitting next to me and I didn't recognize myself. The gut, the double chin, the way I was just sitting there. I felt disgusted, not on my circumstances, but on myself. Because even at 13, I understood that what I was looking at was the result of my own choices. Nobody did that to me. I did. And right there, I made a decision. I didn't have a trainer. I barely had the internet. YouTube was barely becoming a thing. So I really didn't have anybody to ask. And so I used the only logic I had at the time. Eat less, drink more water, move more. And so I started running a mile every day, then 2, then 3, then 4. And 1 year later, I had lost 100 pounds. But losing the weight was just the start of what that journey taught me. In middle school, I played every sport I could: football, soccer, basketball, whatever was in season, I was playing in it. And in basketball, we did this thing called suicides. And if you've never heard of them, you basically run to one end of the court and back over and over, and each round you have less time. The pace keeps going up, and if you don't make it before the buzzer, you're out. I watched my teammates throw up. I watched guys twice my size tap out. My heart was racing, my lungs were burning every single time. But I kept going because something in me knew how to talk to myself in those moments. It's hard to explain, but when I was about to break, there was always this version of me that would show up, standing right next to me, asking these questions. That's it? That's all you got? You're not a quitter. And every single time, that voice kept me moving. There was this one time the whole football team was doing suicides together. And in that group was a guy who used to bully me. Back when I was a fat kid, he had a lot to say. And so one by one, guys started dropping off. The buzzer would go and another one would walk off the court. And eventually, it was just the two of us still running, him and me. Everyone else had stopped. They were standing on the sidelines watching us. And I just kept pushing past what my legs were telling me, past what my lungs were saying. I couldn't feel my face. I couldn't hear anything around me. It was just him and me and the sound of our shoes in the court. And then my legs gave out. I went down. And right after I did, he did too. I didn't beat him, but I made him quit with me. And I remember lying on that court, lungs burning, legs shaking, sweat in my eyes, thinking the same thing over and over. You're not the same kid anymore. Nobody in that gym looked at me the same after that, including him, especially him. By the time I got into high school, I wasn't a fat kid anymore. I was leaner, I was faster, I was competing. And then junior year, one of my friends introduced me to P90X. If you don't know what P90X is, It was a workout program that promised to get you ripped in 90 days. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it? The workouts, let me tell you, were brutal. And I remember thinking, challenge accepted. So the first workout, I puked in the first 15 minutes. It was unlike anything I had done before. My body had no idea what was happening. And so I cleaned up myself and finished the workout. You see, losing 100 pounds had already taught me something most people never learn. Wanting to stop and having to stop are two completely different things. And most people never figure out that difference. They quit the second it gets uncomfortable because they think that discomfort is a signal, but it's not. It's just a feeling, and feelings pass. I completed P90X that junior year, then did the whole thing all over again during the summer before my senior year. And when I walked into band camp that fall, people noticed someone had clearly been putting in work during the summer, and that person was me. Here's what I figured out, and it took me years to even be able to put it into words. Every hard thing I've done since losing that weight has been easier to start. Not because the thing itself was easier, because I already knew something about myself. I knew I could be uncomfortable for a long time and not break. I knew I was capable of more than I felt in that moment. And you see, that's not something you can fake. It's not a feeling you talk yourself into. It's a fact you have with yourself that nobody can take away. You don't get that from reading about it. You don't get it from watching other people do it. You don't get it from a book, from a course, from a mentor, a podcast, or a video, including this one. The only way to get it is to do the thing. Pick something hard, something you're not so sure you can finish, and finish it. That's the lesson no classroom can sell you. Here's the thing about doing something genuinely hard, it teaches you things you didn't sign up to learn. I signed up to lose weight, but what I got was a completely different education about myself, about what I was actually capable of, about who I would become if I stopped listening to my feelings. And once I had that, I started applying it to everything: money, career, every part of my life where I'd been playing it safe. Because here's what I learned: most people don't have a knowledge problem, they know what they should do. They just haven't done the thing yet that proves to them they actually can. The weight was my thing, and I found it early. And here's where I'll leave you: there's something in your life right now. You keep telling yourself you'll start when the time is right, when things settle down, when you feel ready. The time isn't coming. The feeling isn't coming. The only thing that's coming, it's more time passing. I'll see you in episode 5.